Hey, welcome, 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 one and all. This is Jonathan Clark. Welcome to this special launch pilot webinar. We've just got some guys coming into the room. You might want to grab a beverage or a glass of water or something healthy, a comfy seat with a pen and paper. We're going to be covering a whole bunch of stuff over the next little while. Charlotte, you're in 3 times. I don't know how many devices you're logging in on. There's 3 of you here. Garth here, Cynthia's here. Good stuff. Okay, so yeah, welcome to this one of a kind webinar. We decided to throw this one into the mix this afternoon simply because I've created something that I'm really, really excited about and proud of, and I wanted to share it. So we are recording this. We got a lot of messages today for people who said they couldn't make it. We actually had probably the highest number of registrations on this particular webinar today, which is great. So that tells me there's definitely a need and I'm on the right lines. And I think there is definitely a need. I think that's one of the reasons why I've put this thing together for you, and I want to show you how it all works, because I keep hearing the same issues. I keep seeing the same blocks coming up. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So without further ado, let's get stuck into this. Let me share with you Launch Pilot. So what the heck is Launch Pilot? This essentially, the whole idea is that someone can come with an idea on a napkin, literally. That business cliche of two people have lunch and somebody designs a business on a napkin. We could have that built and turned into 5 income streams live on the internet for sale in record time. I'm currently seeing 90 days, a 90 day, and it gives us lots and lots of wiggle room. Realistically, it could be done a lot quicker, but this is a beta test. So Launch Pilot is currently in beta, which means this is a first draft prototype. And we've already got 3 people in the program. And those 3 beta testers are in the mindset that we might have some bumps and some niggles along the way, and we'll iron out the wrinkles as we go. However, I wouldn't have launched it if I wasn't pretty confident that it can do what it can do. We actually ran the play yesterday on one of our clients, and we got something built really quickly, really quickly. I mean, like the same day quickly. And it's now up for sale for a 4-figure ticket, and it could be quite lucrative. So that's kind of where we're going. So from idea on a napkin to 5 income streams live on the internet for sale within 90 days or quicker. That's what this does. All right. Now, let's go into a little bit of detail here. What you're going to learn on this particular web seminar, webinar, web class, whatever we're going to call this, is how to, first of all, determine, is there a market for your idea? We see a lot of this in the online course creation world. Right now, I'm seeing a lot of people saying how to validate your online course idea before you actually launch it, because how do you know if anyone's going to buy it? Don't we all, as solopreneurs and entrepreneurs, we launch products and services on a wing and a prayer and a hope that the thing flies? And we're not basing on any empirical data whatsoever. It's just personal enthusiasm and hope. How about we were able to do market research, live sales details, live sales data, and use predictive modeling to look into the future to see what people are going to want in the future. We're actually using 7 different research tools, and we're using artificial intelligence and machine learning, and we're using it to draw information live as of today from the biggest retailing platform on the internet, which is Amazon.com. So we're going to validate an idea before we even launch it, and we know whether it's going to fly or not because the market has told us. Okay, no more hope, no more hype, no more speculation, a lot more certainty and a lot more clarity. That's what this is all about. Now, if you haven't met me before, although most of the people who have registered for this webinar do know me, if you haven't, my name is Jonathan Clark. Some reasons why you might want to pay attention to what I'm saying. My background is NLP and hypnotherapy. I've been a therapist for 26 years. I've worked with people's hearts and heads for all that length of time, and then gradually evolved into training and teaching that stuff and certifying people in how to become hypnotherapists, coaches, and psychotherapists, that kind of thing. I was in BNI, the biggest and most profitable networking organization on the planet. I was actually a director consultant in BNI, which meant I was looking after and launching chapters. And I was also one of the 2 regional trainers in my region in Scotland, where we taught all the newbies how to do networking in a way that actually got paying clients. So I've been doing networking for 26 years. I've written 15 books so far. You can see a lot of them on there. Half of them are fiction, half of them are non-fiction. I've done over 5,000 hours of one-to-one consultations with people. I've been a keynote speaker. I've been on TV, radio. I've worked with celebrities. I've signed a lot of non-disclosure agreements. I've produced 17 home study programs over the years. I was paid by Morgan Stanley to work with their sales teams, and we got a 40% increase in their sales within 30 days. I also trained the sales trainers inside Barclays Stockbrokers in Scotland. I used to lecture at the Peter Jones Entrepreneur Academy every year, a regular speaker at Tom Hunter Centre at Strathclyde University, which is another entrepreneur program. My first business was at age 19. I had a magazine business. It was a fanzine, which then became a full-colour magazine in all the newsstands. I've been an eBay power seller, and I'm a qualified financial advisor. In my day job, I was a financial advisor helping people with money. So this is not to impress you. This is to impress upon you that I have spent my entire 56 years on this planet so far with lived experience, qualification, learnings, knowledge, kicks in the teeth, all that good stuff. That is your source material. All right. In the same way as an observational comedian would look out at the world and see funny situations and write sketches about them, this is observational material for you as a product producer. Okay. You have got qualifications, you've got knowledge, you've got lived experience, you've got skills, you've got academia. That stuff can be monetized and it can be turned into products and services. And that's exactly what I now teach. However, I am teaching people how to do this stuff, and I give them all the tools and I give them the keys to the kingdom. And after a couple of years, I still see some of my students struggling to get a book written, struggling to get a website up, struggling to get basic stuff done. So I saw a need, and I think I've plugged the gap. So bear with me. This is for people who are coaches, consultants, therapists, aspiring thought leaders, people who want time freedom. They want to get paid for what they know, and they want to impact people. They want to make a difference, and they want to build a global following. That's who this is for. If you're a whiner and complainer, you don't belong here. I'm afraid I'm not going to listen to you for very long. If you're a serial refunder, you definitely don't belong here. And if you're not coachable and you think you know it all, then premature closure is as bad as premature anything else. I would suggest you move on. This is not the right webinar for you. If you've tried Google ads or Facebook ads or any kind of pay-per-click advertising, or maybe you've done Amazon FBA, maybe you've done the importing products from China and selling them on Amazon. I did that for a long time. Maybe you've been selling your services as a therapist or a coach or a consultant one-on-one, and you're staggering from one client sale to the next client sale, and it's feast and famine. I know a lot of trainers and speakers who were working for major household names. I spoke to one lady recently who was a leadership development trainer in Dubai, making 6 figures a month. She's now stacking shelves in a supermarket here, and she can't get clients, and it boggles my mind. I hate seeing that. Maybe you've been using keyword tools or SEO, or you've been posting stuff on social media hoping that one day someone might hire you, or cold DMing people. Oh, please don't be the pitch and connect brigade on LinkedIn who connect with you and immediately pitch. I hate that, and you probably hate that as well. If you've been doing surveys to try to gather market intelligence or polls to try and figure out what your market wants, there are quicker ways, okay? I want to show you a faster way to do all that stuff. Ultimately, you probably, if you're here and you're the kind of person that I like working with, you probably simply want to take what's in your knowledge, in your brain, in your knowledge dump here, and turn it into products and services and earn a stable monthly income, right? We work to earn money to pay for the things that we want to do when we're not at work, right? It's not work-life balance, it's life-work balance. We work in order to earn money to finance the lifestyle that we want. So you probably want a stable monthly income. You would probably love to have a following of loyal clients who buy from you over and over again and refer their friends, family, and colleagues to you, right? And therefore create a successful business. That brings with it financial security. And you've probably tried lots of different things. You don't need a job, you need an income, or actually preferably multiple streams of income, Because nowadays, having one income isn't necessarily job security. I don't think there's any such thing as job security anymore. So I want to show you a different way of doing things. Now, I've been in the business of helping other business owners launch businesses, run businesses, scale businesses for 26 years. But the tech is often a big issue. Do I use ClickFunnels? Do I use Constant Contact? Do I need CRM systems? Do I need autoresponders? Oh my God, chatbots, AI, ChatGPT, blah, 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 right? And then there's the marketing part. Like, are you a good salesperson? Are you a good marketer? Are you good at selling yourself? You have to learn how to talk like that. You have to learn how to write headlines and do copywriting. Am I going to have to pay someone to do all that stuff? There's a steep, steep learning curve. And it's all done on the hope and a prayer that it might fly. Okay. And that's what we've all been doing up until this point. We're in a new era. We are in a new era. And a lot of coaches and consultants and therapists and speakers and trainers and people who are experts at what they do, world class at what they do, struggle to turn that into any form of financial security, right? And that pains me. Now, there's a couple of reasons why that happens. First of all, there's such a steep learning curve. You have to learn how to build websites. You have to learn how to do networking. You have to learn how to create lead magnets. You have to learn how to do social media. Maybe you're trying to master LinkedIn or YouTube or TikTok or shorts and reels and stories. There's just so much. There's marketing. How do I find my target market? Do I even have a target market? Right? And you get burnt out with trying to juggle all the different things. Trust me, I have been there. The tech, as I've mentioned before, looking at all these things, websites, landing pages, follow-up emails, messenger chat, all that stuff. Then there's a time element. I mean, if you're working during the day in a day job and you're trying to build a side hustle, where do you fill it in? Where do you fit that time in? Or even if you're full-time doing this stuff, you've still got the family, the kids, the school run, the shopping, the fish on Friday. You've got all the stuff to live your life as well as run a business. And there's a big difference between being a therapist and being in the business of therapy. There's a big difference between being a coach and being in the business of coaching. Two different things. So we all start in the same place, don't we? We all start with this vision. We've got a goal. We've got an idea of what we want to make. We've got an idea of what we want our business to look like, right? I always thought I was going to coach maybe 10 clients a week and I'd be charging £150 a month each because that would make me the money I wanted to make at that point. Okay. So we've got an idea what we want to do. Maybe we want to be a speaker and do speaking gigs. Maybe we want to do B2B consulting and parachute into companies. Maybe we want to write books. Maybe we want to create online courses. We have this idea. We know how much we need to make in a month to pay the bills, right? So we then start the race up that hill and we're buying the next course that promises the next hope. Like every time I buy an online program or a course or a product, you always get login details. You always get, here's the website you're going to go to and here's the login details so you can get in. What I've done over the years is I've always printed those off. So in case I lose them, so I can't lose them. There's what I've got so far. Okay, those are all individual programs and websites that I have login details for, some of which I've never even been to. And you're probably in the same boat, or you're buying the next software tool that promises the earth, right? Or you've joined another coaching program hoping that this will be the one. We all do the same things. Then this happens. We hit this massive brick wall, and the brick wall has 4 huge solid objects in it. Number one is the offer. Right, I'm supposed to create an offer. I'm supposed to be able to language what I do in a way that people want, right? Well, quite often what happens is when people say, what do you do? And you go, I'm a coach. And they go, oh, really? Coffee? And they're gone, okay? The most important factor of any online business or product or service is the offer. Like who is it for? What does it do? If you say the right thing to the right person at the right time, you're in with a chance of a sale. But if you're not saying the right thing to the right person at the right time, then forget it because it ain't going to land. People are not going to be interested in it. And is your offer different from other people's offers? Are you differentiated? Are you unique? Okay. The offer is really, really critical. After the offer, you hit the next big brick wall. The next big obstacle is the content. We're supposed to do content marketing. Okay. We know that some people like to read. Some people like to watch. Some people like to listen. Some people like to experience. So I'm supposed to do video, I'm supposed to do text, I'm supposed to do audio and podcasting, I'm supposed to do events, right? There's an ocean of content. So you need to think about lead magnets, slides, emails, sales copy, follow-up emails, social media posts, all that stuff, right? There's a lot there. There's a lot to think about. And content marketing has changed the game. It used to be you could get a website on Google and it would rank on Google and you'd start getting phone calls. That has all changed. Social media has completely changed the game. Third major issue, as I've mentioned already, is the technology. So I've got all this stuff to think about. Look at that. I mean, look at this. This is just a screenshot I took of several things. ClickFunnels, right? Active Campaign, HubSpot. Are you using Calendly, right? Are you using Zoom? Are you got a course on Udemy? Are you trying to syndicate podcasts, Podbean, all the different things that you've got to get your head around? It's immense. It's immense. And then there's the fourth part, which is the money, the cost of all this stuff. If you're going to do copywriting, are you going to pay someone or are you going to learn to do it yourself? Are you going to hire a coach? How many $3,000 programs have you done now so far? And they got the $3,000 and you're not any better off. Are you trying to learn about traffic and conversion and Facebook ads? Are you trying to get your head around how to build funnels on ClickFunnels? Are you hiring agencies? Have you had a good experience with an agency? I haven't heard very many good experiences from people hiring agencies. And you can spend thousands trying to just get set up. Okay, have you made your money back? Have you seen a return on your investment? That's the question. It's this idea of like a marketing junkyard. It's like you're put in the middle of a junkyard and you've been asked to build a car to take you to work every day. But you need to find the wheels, and you need to find the engine, and you need to find the clutch, and you need to find the gearbox, and you need to find the fuel, you need to find the chassis, and you're trying to piece all the bits of the machine together, and you don't really have a master plan. No wonder it is difficult. No wonder people struggle all day long. Think of all the things that you need. You need your offer, which means you have to have a problem that you solve. You have to have a target market who would want that. You have to have some sort of marketing strategy. You need to have a well-honed message. Then you need to get that content out there. So you're writing a landing page, video scripts, follow-up emails. Then you've got to get that out. So you're going to need a website, you need a landing page, you need a shopping cart. Are you using Stripe? Are you using PayPal? Are you having problems trying to take credit cards? You've got to piece all of this stuff together. It's a friggin' nightmare. Now, I spent the last probably 20 years, I got into the internet around about year 2000, piecing all this stuff together. And ultimately, I ran a marketing agency and we used to build this stuff for people all the time. Funny how things work out. So let me show you an easier way that we've come up with, how to pull off a successful business launch in a rapid rate of knots. Maybe you're ready to launch and you want to scale it. Great, we can talk about that. But if you're overwhelmed, if you're burnt out, if you're frustrated and you want to get online and live selling so that your digital footprint expands, you're findable, people can find you and then hire you and you're visible, then let me show you what we've come up with. We've come up with this thing called Launch Pilot. And Launch Pilot is essentially a 9-step process that goes from an idea on a napkin. You can bring us any concept at all, your lived experience, your credentials, your academia, your skills, your talents, and we can turn that into a live multiple stream of income business in 90 days or less. That's what this does. And it's largely done for you. We're going to do most of the heavy lifting. So let me walk you through what these 9 steps are so you have a better understanding of what we're talking about here. And then we're going to hit you with an irresistible offer. So first step is called mission control. Actually, if you go back to this, you'll see this is a whole sort of space NASA kind of theme that I've put to this. So there's pre-flight checks, which is the first step. Then there's ignition, and then there's takeoff. Okay. So the first part of your pre-flight checks is mission control. Mission control is, what is your goal? What are you trying to achieve? Step 1 is always, what's your outcome? Where are you going? Right? We need to identify very clear goals about what you want to do. So in simple terms, how much do you want to make in the next 12 months? How much money would you like to bring in from your business in the next 12 months? That's the first figure. Second figure, how much is your average sale? Like if you sell something, if you do a coaching block or you do a speaking appearance, or you sell a book, whatever. What's your average sale value? Now, if you divide the income by the average sale value, you now know how many sales you need to make in the next 12 months. Okay. Now, if you know how many people you convert out of, say, 5 people, if you speak to 5 people, do you convert 1 of them, 2 of them, 10 of them? How good a salesperson are you? What's your conversion ratio? If you work out your conversion ratio, then you can work out how many sales appointments you need in order to hit your target, which then tells you how many sales appointments you need to make in a month. These are probably numbers that most people don't really know. Have you ever actually stopped and worked out these numbers? You need to. These are your KPIs. These are your basic indicators. So it starts with that. What business, what niche, what industry do you want to create an impact in? And how much does it need to make you? That is goal number 1. That's the first part. Now, once we know that, we then have this part. This is Launchpad. Now, Launchpad I am very, very proud of. Launchpad is a method to discover your ideal profitable niche. What's already selling? What is the market already buying? What are people already spending money on? Instead of you launching on a wing and a prayer, let's find out what's already hot. And we write to market. We create stuff that we know people want. There's a demand for it, right? People make the mistake of just inventing something because they think it's a good idea. Connect with anyone and everyone, spraying and praying, hoping that one day they might strike it lucky and get a sale. I don't know if that feels familiar. Maybe you think target marketing is a waste of space. You know, this I've got to have an avatar. I've got to have a profile of who my ideal client is a mistake. Actually, it's a very smart thing to do because it means you end up speaking to less people and more of them say yes. They're also easier to find if you know exactly who your ideal client is. So it pays to know who that is. Do you know who your ideal client is? Do you know their income level? Do you know what their interests are? Do you know what magazines they buy? Do you know what books they read? Do you know what websites they visit? Do you know what their hopes and dreams and aspirations are? Do you know what their fears and dreads are? If you know that stuff, it makes it so much easier to write a marketing message that appeals to that client. It also tells you what social media platforms do your target market use? If your target market doesn't use YouTube, why are you on YouTube? Or are your guys on LinkedIn? In which case, you should be on LinkedIn. Okay? If you're spending a fortune in advertising, spraying and praying and trying to hit anyone with a pulse, you're burning money. And it's a bad idea. It pays to do the research and find out who needs my stuff, who needs my information and help, and who can afford to pay me. A lot of therapists deal with struggling clients who don't have the money to pay them, which is all very laudable, but this is a business and a business needs profit to exist. So you need to find a target market that has disposable income. For instance, Facebook and LinkedIn. Charlotte's having trouble getting logged in here. Facebook has a younger audience with a lower level of income than LinkedIn does. LinkedIn people typically are older and have a higher disposable income. They also tend to be more business to business focused than business to consumer. So you want to be thinking about what social media platforms are my target people on. Who can I create information for? Who needs what I've got? Who's got a problem that I can solve? And also, who would I love to serve? Who would I love to work with? Who do I get energy from? Who do I enjoy working with? Right? These are questions you want to ask yourself. Now, there was a fabulous interview done between 2 of the people that I followed for years, Mr. Tony Robbins and Mr. Eben Pagan. Tony Robbins, personal development guru, as you know. I used to work for Robbins Research. Lovely man. Thoroughly believe in Tony. Ebenezer Pagan, internet marketing guru, made his money through a thing called Double Your Dating under a pseudonym of David D'Angelo. And these guys got together and did an interview, and they were talking about product launches. They were talking about 90% of product launches fail. And Tony Robbins asked Eben a wonderful question, as he often does. Tony said, what makes the 10% succeed? And Eben broke it down into these 3 things. Of the ones that succeed, of the product launches that succeed and businesses that survive the first 5 years, they have 3 things in common. Number 1, the prospect is in a heightened state, right? Either positive passion and addiction or pain and urgency. Like if you get toothache, you're going to go to the dentist because it's getting more and more painful and it's urgent, right? I literally was on antibiotics last week because I had a chest infection from my boy. He brought it home from school. I then caught it. I ended up on antibiotics. Pain and urgency. I can't breathe. I need to breathe. Or you get people who are just like addicted, or addicted to Britney Spears. I want Britney Spears baseball caps, T-shirts, CDs, DVDs, movies, anything that's got Britney on it, I'm going to buy it. You want a client that's already in a heightened state of arousal, because if they're not, you're going to have to try and whip them up into a frenzy and convince them that you have a good idea. And that is hard work. It's hard to try and convince someone they're thirsty. It's much easier to sell cold water on a hot beach, right? So are you trying to tell the client they have a problem that they don't already know about? Or are you catering to a problem that the client is painfully aware of? Of the 10% of product launches that succeed, the prospect is already in a heightened state of arousal, and you are therefore helping that wound or quenching that thirst. Secondly, no other or few other solutions available apart from yours. Now, if you're the only provider of the solution, then great, you've got a monopoly. But let's be honest, you're not the only coach on the planet. You're not the only therapist on the planet. You're not the only consultant in your niche. So you need to have some kind of unique differentiation that makes you different from everybody else. If you're going to networking groups and you're saying, I'm a coach, you've blown it, because there's a gazillion of them and you've given me no reason why I should do business with you. But if you can say, I help this target market who have this problem to achieve this goal in this time period, all of a sudden there's 4 hooks in that sentence. And now you're interesting. Now I'm probably in that market, or I have that problem, or I want that goal, or I want that time frame. So languaging what you do in a way that is compelling and interesting to people is fundamental. Third part of the reason that 10% of product launches succeed is the prospect is actively looking for a solution. They have a headache and they're looking for painkillers, right? They want to lose weight, they're looking for liposuction. Okay. If they're not actively looking for a solution, again, you're having to convince them that your thing's a good idea, which is hard work. So you're looking for clients, prospects who are in a heightened state of either passion addiction or pain and urgency. They have very few options to solve their problem, and they're looking for an answer. That's your ideal high probability client. Okay. How do we find those people, I hear you ask? Where are they? Well, I'll give you a clue. This is Frank Kern. Frank's another one of my heroes, internet marketing genius. He's a magic formula, FOWTWGITT, which stands for find out what they want and give it to them. So that means you do some market research. Right? Now, in the old days, that meant doing polls or focus groups or surveys. Nowadays, we have a thing called AI. Nowadays, we have a thing called artificial intelligence. And I had a thought to myself. I thought, what if we could start with an idea on a paper napkin for a website, and within the hour, have the business concept validated, tested, and proven so that you could launch with confidence? And when ChatGPT came out last year, just over a year ago, machine learning AI, because I'm an author and I've written lots of books, I'm already very familiar with Amazon, which, by the way, is also run by machine learning AI. So I wondered, could we get ChatGPT to talk to Amazon? Could we scrape data from Amazon? And the answer is yes. And I came up with this thing called Launchpad. Launchpad, which is part of Launch Pilot, is the ability to go into Amazon and find out the sales data and the demographics of the best-selling books in any niche. Now, bear with me. A book, a non-fiction book on Amazon, is an information product. And why do people buy information products? To learn how to do a skill, or to learn a particular topic or area of knowledge, or to fix a problem, right? So if we were to jump into Amazon.com, go to the bestseller lists and go into, say, business and money, and find the top 50 books in cryptocurrency, we can ask ChatGPT to tell us what made those top 50 books successful. When you read the 5-star reviews, because ChatGPT can read all the reviews for you, when it reads all the 5-star reviews, what did the customers love and what did they want more of? And if they read the 1-star reviews, what do the customers hate or what do the customers not get? ChatGPT then comes back and tells us the ideal book to write. It even tells us who bought these books, the demographics, the psychographics, the income bracket, the professions, the age range, interests, hobbies. Okay? All the Ask campaign information you ever need can be taken from the world's largest online retailer, in the top 50 books in that niche by the top 50 thought leaders in that niche, reading all the positive and negative reviews, that have been left by buyers, not surfers, buyers. And the data is live as of today. We can get that information from Amazon for free using ChatGPT. That then tells us what products and services to create. It's phenomenal. Real-time sales data, which tells you who your perfect customer is, from buyers, not browsers. So you understand exactly who is buying this stuff on a very deep level, and then how to create live products and services based on that data. All right? Hopefully this is making your eyebrows go up. So for example, the first thing we need to do is we need to design our unique proprietary solution. So for example, you ever come across this? This is Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow quadrant. This is what I call a framework or a signature solution. Robert teaches the cash flow quadrant, the 4 type of earning streams that you can have in place. Or maybe you've seen Maslow's hierarchy of needs, the 5-step pyramid, right, of psychological needs. These are called framework or signature solutions. Imagine if you had your own signature program, right? A framework. So it's basically a plan or a blueprint or a map. It organizes all your ideas. It's like a container for all your teachings. It's trainable and teachable beyond you. You could license that out. You could turn it into a book. You turn it into an online course. You could have it as a PowerPoint. You have it as a handout. It's also nameable, protectable, and it's memorable, and it's unique. It's yours. It's your proprietary solution. So what if we started to create one of those for you? Wouldn't that be interesting? Now, how do we do that? Well, first thing is I'd make it very elaborate. I'd make it very visual, right? And look at some of the other solutions that are out there. Look at the other signature programs. Look at Stephen Covey's 7 Habits, for example. Look at the Silva Mind Method meditation techniques. Look at the human design theory. Look at the Kabbalah. Look at existing frameworks that are out there and model some of those. The way we do it is we go, okay, our client is over here and they're stuck, they're frustrated, they're fed up, they're bored, they're in a negative, emotional, heightened state. Remember that? Where do they want to be? They want to be over here, happy, flowing in the right place, motivated, change, better off, all the desires, all the hopes. But there's obviously something stopping them. There's certain frustrations, there's certain friction, there's certain lack of a plan or limiting beliefs or something in the way. So you come along with your signature solution, which is split into 3 core pillars. The first core pillar is some kind of foundation audit mindset kind of piece. The second pillar will be the system or steps that you teach. And the third will be the hacks, the boosters, the enhancers, right? And you now have a 3-part basis skeleton of a signature solution. Okay, you create a program that takes the client from A to B through 3 or more pillars, which help them dissolve that big wall that's in their way. You can give it a cool, catchy name, and it's helping target market get from present state to desired state in time frame, even if objection. There's your heading, right? Now, we know from comedy, we know from psychology about this thing called the rule of 3. Human beings tend to notice patterns. We like 3, like the 3-part joke, right? An Englishman, an Irishman, a Scotsman walk into a bar. Right? The 3 musketeers, the 3 wise men, the 3 stooges, right? Silver, bronze, platinum. Okay. The rule of 3, 3-legged stools, right? Jokes are often in 3s. If we use that 3, which is a common model for human psychology, let's break our framework into 3 core milestones. What are the 3 main stages that they need to go through in order to get to their goal? You start to build your signature solution, or actually we'll build it for you, but we'll take the data that they've gleaned from Amazon and we build a signature solution for you that's going to move the client from stuck to happy in 3 major pieces. Now we break those 3 pieces into 3 steps each. Okay, so we take first pillar and break it into 3, second pillar, break it into 3, third pillar, break it into 3. What we end up with is a 9-step program that takes the client, and it's a unique program. It's your signature solution that takes the client, whoever your target market is, from point A to point B, and it is yours. It's one of a kind. No one else has it. Now, that model is so important because that model, think about this, that model is your high-ticket coaching program. You're going to take a company through the 9 phases of your signature solution. It's 9 videos on the internet. It's 9 chapters of a book. It's the 9 modules of your online course. It's your auditing tool. When you onboard a client, you audit them through the 9 areas. Have you taken care of step 1? Have you taken care of step 2? You'll very quickly see where you need to intervene. All of your content comes out of this 9-step framework. You'd have 9 lead magnets, all bringing you leads. Think of the possibilities. It's 9 follow-up emails. Okay? Imagine if you had a signature solution framework that is uniquely yours, all branded up and colorful and elaborate and funky, and it's yours, and it runs your entire business for you. We'll help you do that. This is ours. This is Launch Pilot. It's 9 modules split into 3 core pillars. I actually do practice what I preach. Good Lord, imagine that. We would create something that looks like that for you. Okay. Now, that's only the second step. Step 3 is the payload part, creating products and services that used to take months to build in minutes. We want you to have a complete sausage machine conveyor belt system, a money-making sausage machine that will pay you forevermore. Residual income. Now, I'm going to give you some numbers in here and some figures. These are based on my own numbers, based on my own business plan and my own accounts, and some of those are my students. Now, I am not a lawyer, nor do I play one on TV. So with that disclaimer, let's move on. If you're relying on one stream of income, if you're relying on one client sale and you're staggering to the next client sale and then you eat that month, that is feast and famine and it's stressful, right? Think of a diving board. A diving board is on one piece of wood or metal and it's very wobbly and it's ultimately designed to make you dive. Contrast that to the Greek Parthenon, which has pillar after pillar after pillar after pillar. And that thing's still there thousands of years later. If you're relying on one stream of income, you are vulnerable and you're fragile. If you have multiple streams of income, you have multiple rivers feeding your lake. And most of it is residual. Most of it comes in without you being there. So what is residual income? Well, look at it this way. Imagine you are a dog trainer and you're out there working once. You work for an hour and you paid for an hour, right? The old thing about trading time for money in the rat race. You do a dog training session and it's maybe £75 an hour, $75 an hour. Or maybe you've written a book on dog training and you make £10 or $10 every time you sell one. But if you're doing $75 an hour and you're out there in parks with humans and dogs, you can only probably do about 6 hours a day max, right? So you're automatically hitting a ceiling. You've got 24 hours in a day. The personal trainer who's doing one-on-one fitness training can only do X number of workouts in a day. Good Lord. So you have a cap on your ceiling, a cap on your limit. Yeah, you can't earn any more. Residual income, on the other hand, you do the work once and you get paid over and over and over again. Think of the word royalty. They're now trading leverage for money. And that's how a lot of people who are financially independent do it, right? You switch from working one-on-one to one-on-many. So for example, you could do webinars like this. Could you get on Zoom and show me some slides? Of course you could. You can do that for free or you can do it for a fee. You could create CDs and DVDs if anybody's still got a DVD player, but you can create those products. You can create online courses and digital delivered products and services and charge a monthly fee. Membership sites which came from the porn industry where guys would pay money on a credit card to access a protected website every month. Guess what? Now we're doing Udemy and we're doing Coursera and we're doing Teachable. E-learning is exploding. You could take your knowledge and turn it into an online course, or even better, let us do it for you. You could do live workshops and seminars and appear on stage and teach what you know to people, or do it virtually on Zoom, right? And record it. Do it once, get paid forever. In fact, if you're going to stand on stage and teach a room full of people, why not record it and turn it into a book and an online course, as well as a seminar that you can run over and over again? There's no limit to how much that makes you. You have no upper limit to your earnings if you use that model. That's the exciting part. Now, in the author expert space, there's only really about 6 or 7 different kinds of income streams that you can create. You're either writing books on information products, you're doing speaking or workshops, you may be creating software and apps, maybe you're doing coaching or consulting, maybe you're going to offer agency services where you do stuff for people, or maybe you're going to do training and memberships. Those are the core kind of big 6. And my question to you would not be which one, but which one first? How many of these would you like to have? How many pillars would you like in your Parthenon? Using Launchpad, We can find out from Amazon, what are people buying right now? Who are they? Who's got the money? What are the demographics and psychographics? What are their problems, their frustrations, their needs and wants? And create a signature solution for that market with those challenges. And it takes minutes, not years or months. And that can be a book, an online course, a coaching program, live events, or consulting. Okay, that's where we're ultimately going. Now, I was already using a lot of research tools and AI to scan Amazon, and I've been helping my clients. We've created 33 Amazon best-selling authors so far in the last 4 years by looking at what is selling right now and how do we target those people and what do we write. It even tells us, like having somebody inside Amazon saying, you might want to write a book about this. We can even tell how many copies we need to sell before we launch it to hit number one on Amazon. It's amazing. They'll even tell you why they don't buy. We can even have counter objections ready to go. So what I'm suggesting is most coaches, therapists, consultants, they concentrate on getting the basic sale. They concentrate on getting the speaking gig or the therapy session or the coaching block. And that's where they stop. But all the money is in the back end. All the money is in having maybe a monthly newsletter or a retreat plus books, right? Or all of the above. Look at what does Tony Robbins do? There's the free introductory seminar. Then there's the 4-day fire walk. Then he does Mastery University, Date with Destiny, right? Then he's got his 60,000 platinum partnership. Then he has his Namali private resort. You're bouncing down Tony's conveyor belt. I'd like to stop buying other people's stuff and start selling your own. So imagine this. Here's a conservative number, and this is based on my figures. If you had a book and you sold 8 books a month, 8 in the whole world a month, and you're selling them at $9.97, then that's worth about $1,000 a year. If you were doing an online workshop or some sort of $67 training course, like 6-module training course, you did it digitally, right? If you sold 4 of them a month, you'd be on $3,500. If you set up a membership site where you had 19 people paying you $97 or pounds a month, you'd be making $22,000 a year just from that membership site and nothing else. What if you ran a weekend seminar 9 months of the year and you charged 12 people 147 to come to it? That's nearly $16,000 on its own. If you did a big quarterly event, like a big retreat for 5 days and you charge $2,000 a head and you get 10 people coming to it, that's 60,000 a year from 3 events on their own. What if you had a coaching mastermind program, you charge $997 and you've got 4 people on it? That's 48,000 a year, right? Now, if you did all of these, if you had these 6 streams of income, you'd be looking at 150,000 a year. Conservative numbers. I mean, look at this. It's only 12 people on your seminar. It's only 8 sales of a book a month. It's only 4 people buying your product. These are not big figures, but look at the potential. You could be doing a calendar like this. This is what I teach my clients to do. Have a calendar for the year and do a seminar and do a workshop in January, a workshop in February, and a workshop in March. Then do a big retreat in April. Then do a workshop in May, a workshop in June, a workshop in July, then do a big retreat in August. You've always got something to market. And by the way, the people who come to your workshops, you sell them on the next workshop. And the people who come to your next workshop, you sell them on the retreat. And while they're on the retreat, you sell them one-to-one coaching. And when they're at the workshop, they can buy your book, right? And the book in the last page has an advert for your online course. Multiple streams of income. Are you starting to see the possibilities? Interesting. Let's move on. Number 3 is the book, the 1-page flight manual cheat sheet. Author a captivating, value-driven business book, non-fiction business book to drive your business and be the ultimate calling card, the ultimate business card, using real-time sales data from Amazon. We can find out exactly what people want to buy. Now, you could maybe have reasons to write a book. Maybe you've always wanted to write a book. Most of our authors quote these as reasons. Maybe it's a passion project. Maybe they want it to be a money maker. Maybe they want it to be a lead generator. Maybe they want it just for the credibility and authority it's going to give them, or it's going to land them a TED talk. You can certainly tell your story in your book, your life story, your biography, but it better be relevant to your client. Because with all due respect, who cares about Jonathan's life story? But if it's relevant to the client, you can spread your message, you can impact people, you can reach influencers and celebrities, you can buy your own book on Amazon and gift ship it to anybody on the planet, and it will arrive in an Amazon box with a little note going, hey, I'd love an appointment with you. Why not? You're certainly leaving a legacy. You've got an item that you're going to leave forevermore. Okay. Lots of reasons why you'd want to write a book. We can now use AI to write a book in about 2 hours that we know will be an Amazon bestseller in advance because Amazon told us what the market wants, even told us what to call the book based on the best-selling titles. Now, I know right now people are going to go, oh, you're using AI to write a book. You're cheating. Am I? Is using a calculator, does that mean the mathematician is cheating? I'm using AI to write a first draft book. My idea, my concepts, my design, my structure. And AI will spit out a first draft book. I will then rewrite that book. I'll rewrite that book by about 90%. So make it thoroughly mine, inject my own personality, my own metaphors, my own statistics, my own quotes, my own diagrams, and that book will be thoroughly mine. So you never, ever, ever, ever use AI output as your final draft. It's just there to start you off. It's like having a ghostwriter create the first draft of your book. You then go from there. But we can do that in a matter of hours. I did 4 books on Sunday. 4 books on Sunday. They're all first draft. They'll all require some work, but I know they're all going to be bestsellers and I haven't even launched them yet. That's what we're talking about here. The book that you produce or the book we produce for you have thoroughly comprehensive chapters, cover all learning styles. There'll be visuals inside the book. There'll be quotes and statistics inside the book. It'll answer all the clients' frequently asked questions. This will be a quality book. It's not tat we're churning out, and it's not mass-produced AI nonsense. It is very, very detailed, specific for that target market, focusing on real problems that the reviews tell us they want more of or they want less of. And we can have that book done very, very quickly. For example, Gul Khan's book here, The Laws of Money, Several Spiritual Laws of Money, took it through some extensive rewriting and editing. We got it to #1 in new releases on Amazon, and it got to #2 in personal finance in Amazon. It was only beaten by Robert Kiyosaki or Rich Dad, Poor Dad fame. Okay, the only reason we didn't get Gul to #1 was because Robert Kiyosaki already was. And Gul described her as a dyslexic brown girl. And she's right up there beside Robert Kiyosaki. That could be you. Okay, next step is the 1-page course correction part. Design an engaging, results-focused online course ready to sell. All the videos done on a website, all the sales copy written, and a buy now button live on the internet, 24/7, globally, done for you. If you're going to do a book, you may as well do an online course. It's the same content, just change the learning style. Okay, if you're going to do an online course, you can easily turn that into a book. We will create both if you want us to. We will have that signature solution, that signature framework, the 9-step framework, and turn it into 9 chapters of a book for your exact audience based on buyer data that we got from Amazon. Hopefully you're seeing the potential of this. Now, if you just use ChatGPT to do this kind of Amazon research, do you think that would stack the deck in your favor? Do you think maybe if you knew what the market's already buying, you might have more success? But if Amazon was telling you exactly what to create, do you think that might skew the odds in your favor a little bit? Yes, I think it would. Launchpad tells us what the best-selling products are, what we should include, what to call it. It even tells you how much to charge. Do you ever have any problems with deciding your prices? Amazon will tell you what your prices should be. And it'll even give you the objections that you're liable to hear and answers to all of them, which you can build into your sales copy. We also do all your slides for you. So all the PowerPoint slides, we will design them like this. We break it into 3 pillars. We have slides for each of the modules. We have an intro, we have an outro, all done for you on a website ready to go. And think about this. If you're going to do a membership site, there's 3 kind of levels to membership sites. You can do a DIY, right, which is the do-it-yourself version, which is simply the student is going to study their own course at their own rate. Okay, and you can charge like 27 a month, 47 a month, whatever. And they could do videos and they'd get handouts. You could also have done with you, which is where maybe it's a bigger course. It's like a $3,000 course. But it's part teach, part implement. Maybe they get coaching with you once a week. So maybe it's like a DIY study plus they get access to you as a teacher. Okay. And then there's a done for you, which is kind of what Launchpilot is, where basically the whole thing is done for you. You could offer an agency model where you do all the heavy lifting for the client. So there's multiple levels of membership you can have to an online course. Next step. What about all the marketing copy? What about the launch emails, the website words, the words on the website? What about social media posts? What about lead magnets? I've got all that stuff to create. We can do that for you as well. So we can write all the launch emails. We can write all the social media posts. They're literally copy and paste. We can write all the promo video scripts. We can do Facebook ads. I've been using Facebook ads for years since Facebook launched its ads platform. But I discovered that the AI ads perform better than mine do. So I'm just going to let the AI do it. Write the sales letter, blog post, you name it, anything that needs to be written down, it can be written for you using Launchpad and Launchpilot, which means your virtual assistant, your VA, do you need one? You don't need a copywriter, don't need a social media manager. You don't need to write do focus groups and surveys and polls, because the system will do it all for you. Then you're going to need web pages. You're going to need like a funnel. You're going to need the standard kind of funnel. You need the opt-in page, the landing page where people put the name and email to get the free thing. Then you need the thank you page. Then you need maybe a booking page, like your diary, like Calendly. Maybe you want to have some kind of confirmation page. Then you want to follow them up with emails. How are you going to do all that kind of stuff? Well, funny you should ask, because we've got the ability to build the funnel for you. This is what we did for our client yesterday. It took us 2.5 hours. We built the entire thing, including the website that gives them the freebie, the lead magnet. Now, in the old days, it would have been a white paper, right? In the old days, it was 7 questions you should ask before you hire a therapist, or free consultation, right? Or an ebook. What works nowadays is cheat sheets and templates. What people want nowadays are cheat sheets and templates and quick, easy to consume checklists, tools that they can take away and actually use. So we're actually going to create that for you. We're going to create a 1 to 2 page PDF lead magnet. It's a free giveaway designed to get leads. Anyone who grabs the giveaway is putting their hand up as a prospect. It aggravates their problems and it has a call to action in it, right? So it's telling them what to do next. We can come up with 5 different titles for that. We can even come up with domain names that we can then create that website around. So for example, in Australia, Amir used the Launchpad content that we've got here, took the 17-page document that came back from Amazon, started doing live advertising. He hired a director. He hired an office space, and he got his first 4 clients within a week of using this stuff. Very, very powerful. Very, very powerful. Then we're going to do your book launch for you. We're actually going to run your book launch. We're going to think called Rush the Charts, where we go on Amazon, we upload your book for you, and we promote it, and we try and get you to #1 on Amazon, right? You don't have to face rejection from publishers. You're guaranteed to get published, and we're going to get you into top 100. How do I know that? Well, I've done several books of my own. These are my novels along the top, and these are my non-fiction books along the bottom. I've written, I think, 15 books now. I think 8 of them have been bestsellers by design, not by accident. And we've created 33 Amazon best-selling authors so far in the last few years. Some of our results are here: #1 on Amazon, #1 on Amazon, #6 on Amazon, #1 on Amazon, number 15 of all non-fiction books. That's the kind of things that we do all the time. So we know how Amazon works. Now, after that, here's the fun part. If you stay with us, here's the fun part. Scaling your business. I call it escape velocity. Taking your business even further than it already is. Go back to this roadmap. Go back to this signature solution. Imagine if you had this 9-step signature solution, right? With a foundational basis of your entire business. What if we extended that 9 different directions? What if we had a funnel for each of those 9 steps that has its own target market, its own lead magnet, its own website? You could do an event around that. You could do a challenge around that. You could do a book around that. Imagine if you had 9 different target markets, 9 different lead magnets to generate leads, 9 different funnel websites, books, events, online courses. Sky is the limit. Multiply everything you've done by 9. How does that sound? So if all this did was identify who your ideal client was, would that be worth knowing? Would that make your life easier if you knew who wants to buy your stuff? If you could save yourself months of trial and error, would it be worth it? If it helped you to create a product, finally, once and for all, got an online course built or a book out, would that be worth it? So we had 2 choices when we built this stuff, and I came up with these ideas. Can I keep it to myself and just use it within my own company, Instant Edge? Or we can share it with other solopreneurs and entrepreneurs who want to succeed, so everybody benefits. So my invitation to you is, do you want to do what most entrepreneurs do and launch a business with zero idea if it's going to succeed or not, with just hope and a prayer that it might work, it might fly? Or do you want to use these 7 different research tools, tap into Amazon's database and craft something that you know the market is crying out for and is validated before you launch it? So it answers that question, is anyone going to want what I'm selling, before you even put it out there? Now, am I offering any kind of guarantee with this service? No, we're not, because once you've got the formula, you've got the keys to the kingdom. And we're doing it all for you anyway. We're doing all the heavy lifting. We're building all the stuff out for you. So we're not offering a refund with this, just so you know. But the real question you should be asking is, are you ready to save yourself a lot of pain, heartache, and money, and finally launch your book, your online course, your website into the world based on real life sales data from the biggest retail platform on the planet? That's the question. 81% of businesses and product launches fail. We can help you be in the 19% that fly. So what is a research-based launch worth to you? What's a sale worth to you? What's a speaking gig worth to you? What's an online course worth to you long-term? What's a book worth to you long-term? Would a client make you 2 grand, 10 grand? What's the ROI? If you've got one sale out of it, what's the ROI? So Launchpilot would be a good deal if it was 10 grand. If we're building you all the websites, we're building you a book, a best-selling book on Amazon, we're making you a best-selling author on Amazon, we're creating an online course for you, we're creating a coaching program, a consulting program, and a year's worth of events and a calendar for you, that's definitely worth 10 grand, especially if it made you 6 figures back. Launchpilot will be 5,997 in 2024. Once we come out of the beta testing period, we will be charging about 6 grand for Launchpilot. But right now, and because you're on this webinar and you know that's how webinars work, it's currently 1,277 down payment and 127 per month subscription. Okay, 1,277 gets you into Launchpilot, and it's therefore 127 per month subscription thereafter. And as long as you stay with us, we will continue to scale your business. If this is appealing to you, all you need to do is book a call with me and we'll chat about your individual situation. If you go to calendly.com/instant edge, you can book a call with me and we'll have a chat about your particular idea and see if it sounds like a goer and see if this is something you're interested in or not. Okay. What else do you need? Well, we're going to give you access to the Get Found, Get Hired, Get Paid program. This is my flagship training program, and this is the basis of all the Launchpilot methodology. So this is the training where I work with you twice a week, every week, one-on-one and in a group to help you build your empire. That's what I've been taking students through for the past 2.5 years. Launchpilot has evolved out of that. So you're going to get access to all of that, as well as all the information that we're doing and building for you. So you've got a grounding in the thinking behind this whole process. We're also going to give you Link Leads. Link Leads is our complete 9-step training course in how to get paying leads from LinkedIn. Okay. Rich seam of gold if you know how to mine it. We're also going to give you our Turn Your Contacts into Contract networking skills training. This is the best I've learned from my 9 years as a trainer in BNI, plus my 26 years of networking my own business for the last quarter of a decade. A way to do networking that actually gets you referrals. That's all included. You also get my Book in 90 Days program, which is how to confidently write and publish a book without spending months at a keyboard in 90 days, although realistically, it's probably going to be a lot less than 90 days. So you have a choice. You can be with the 5% of the people who look at the world and decide, I want it to be better. And so they go out and they chase it and they build their own empire and they make more money and they've got more time freedom. And they finally live the lifestyle that they envisaged having when they first went self-employed or first had the notion to run their own business. Or you can be like the other 95% of the population who, I don't know, let's wait and see. And, a year from now, nothing will have changed. So you have a choice to make. If you like the sound of Launchpilot, helping aspiring thought leaders go from idea on a napkin to 5 income streams in the next 90 days without all the friction and tech hassles and grief, then go ahead and book a call with me, calendly.com/instant edge, and we'll have that call and see if we can help you. We are looking for beta testers. We have 3 already in the program. We're looking for more. It's $1,277 today plus $127 per month thereafter for as long as you want to be with us. Next year, it will jump up to 6K. once we've ironed out all the wrinkles and we've got it down. So today is just an introduction, and it's to find out where you are with it, what your thoughts are on it, and any questions that you have. I have some questions in the chat, and if anybody has got anything they want to ask me, then go ahead and ask me right now. Cynthia says it's pretty cool. We like visual. Yeah, no refunders allowed. Any questions at all about anything I've said today? There's Anita. You just snuck in while I was busy ranting.
I have a question.
Go for it.
So I love this. I think I've mentioned that when I heard.
Yeah.
So the 1277, is that pounds?
That's dollars. It works out as £997.
Okay, so that's US dollars, right?
That's US dollars. Sorry, yes.
Yeah. Well, because I'm, anyways, I'm not there right now. So
that's okay. That's okay.
So having said that, is that do it for you?
Yes, that everything I've talked about there, we will do all the market research. We will then ghostwrite the book, build the online course, build the websites, create the calendar, create the signature program. You get to vet everything as we go along. So, you have a lot of input in it. It's not like it's just delivered and dumped on you. It's very much interactive. So we will create a little bit and send it to you, and we tweak it and bring it back. And then we continue to do that until you're happy with the end result, because it's ultimately going to be your business and your program. But yeah, it's a collaborative thing, but all the heavy lifting, all the kind of clunky stuff, we do that at our end.
Now, I just had something happen yesterday that threw a wrench in my brain. And I decided at 4 o'clock this morning that, because I thought I better work out because my stress level went up, that I wasn't going to allow it to. And I knew that we were going to be meeting as a group today, and I thought I'd pose a question.
Absolutely.
So, you know that I'm in health, and if I bill a healthcare system, Medicare, Medicaid, they have a platform, which is fine. And I thought I'll do a portion of my business because it doesn't pay well. And of course, there's a long time to wait to get funds. So, all right. What they've now told me is if I put on a landing page that I have A, B, C that I offer out of pocket, but if you want the Medicare service, go over here.
Okay.
I may get in a little bit of trouble.
Okay.
Because Medicare wants to hijack that to some, or this is what they tell me. Now, there's always checks, because to be quite frank, I've been told about 8 different stories. So maybe they don't quite know either, right? But so would this program help me to unravel that? Like, so if you're outside of the US, here's your options. If you're in the US, because I would have to word everything differently on purchase.
Everything that you put out on a live web page has to be compliant with the regulations that you're working under. So you would need to give us an idea of what you're allowed to say and what you're not. So, we've worked with MLM companies before, we've worked with legal companies before, we've worked with medical companies before. So there's usually some kind of restrictions on what you can say and what you can claim. And anything that goes on a live website has to be compliant with that. So there's no way around that. It just means that it might be a little bit extra work or a little bit of rewording.
Well, no, I think the wording is okay. It's not even the wording. It's actually the offer.
Right.
So if I say, okay, my own program, right? Gold is, I just know it's gold. Like, I just know they'll have success. Silver, they're going to have success with ABC. It's just how much, like yourself, do they want to do themselves, or they want me to hold their hands more?
Yep.
It's very difficult for me to hold their hands the same way when I charge through the big M's, right?
Sure.
So it's how I word my offers, but only for that demographic. So if I offer this globally. So is there a way, this was my biggie, that, just like Amazon, that's a perfect example, actually. When I go on Amazon, depending on where I am, right? Because I go back and forth, I'm in Canada and the US. So if I'm in Canada, it says, oh, I see you're in Canada, because it's so intelligent. Here's your Canadian site, and this is what you can order, look at. When I'm in the US, it actually says, oh, okay, you're here. Do you want to toggle to the US site? Is that a big deal? for a purchase, like for a landing page?
I would probably do like I need a westlake.co.uk for Britain and .com for America and .ca for Canada, and have different funnels for different countries and make them very specific.
Okay.
So it's their currency, their wordage, their languaging, their spelling, and keep it in keeping with whatever area you're targeting. And I would probably start with your most likely target area first and then scale up from there. Again, that's information we can glean from Amazon. I mean, we can even tell from other sources, like what states in the US is a particular product or service in the most demand, and we can literally pick off states. So that geo targeting information is freely available if you know where to look. And we've done that before. We would maybe dealt with a franchise company or a kind of national chain, and so we would build a campaign in one state that we knew was hot. And once we got that working and we got the wrinkles ironed out, we then clone it into the next states and roll it out. We even did that with franchises where we would give the franchisee their territory. So as part of the franchise, they got all the marketing materials and assets that went with that state, So I would do it. I'd do it geographically, and I'd have a different funnel for different regions.
That's great. That's actually perfect. Because I know it can be done, and I don't want to drop the ball to help people with, Medicare, Medicaid, but it just all of a sudden my head went boom. Are you kidding me? Right? Because we've talked, what my mission is.
Yep.
I just thought, oh my gosh, you got to be kidding me. So either that or I just don't build them. I have that option too, which I will discuss with you. So I have a friend I want to recommend you to.
Okay.
I think they really need you.
Okay.
So I'm in. I'll just have to get the money, as you know.
Sure.
So can he book you through the calendar?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Just pass on the calendly.com/instant edge. Yeah, and I'll have a chat with anyone who wants to talk about this stuff, and I can run through it with them. Absolutely. I think it meets a definite need. I've got so many students who still struggle with the tech. Nikki's on the call. Nikki managed to soldier through and actually build their own landing site and opt-in page and stuff. So well done, Nikki. But it's hard. It's hard, and if you're not used to doing it, I live on the internet, so I am geeky in that respect. But if you're not used to that stuff, it can be months of pain and toleration. We're trying to make that a lot easier. I like the analogy of you bring the coffee, we'll give you the mug.
Yeah, no, I love this because you're not getting frustrated through trial and error. It minimizes it. Even if there is, it minimizes it. Even if there's some, right?
Yeah. So and ultimately, you're still having to put something out into the market and see what the market does with it. But you're stacking the deck as much as you possibly can based on live sales information from buyers, from people who got their credit card out and spent money and even left a review. So these are like hardcore online purchasers who are happy buying stuff online. Those are the guys we want to be talking to if we're trying to sell a book on Amazon, or we're trying to sell an online course on a website, or trying to get people to put their hand up and come into our sales funnels. So I don't know of any other way to stack the deck that's stronger than this. And the other thing, I don't see anybody else using AI to talk to Amazon yet. I imagine someone will clock onto that idea soon, but while we've got it and it's early adopter, first advantage kind of thing, I think it's, let's make hay when the sun shines, or whatever the phrase is. So yeah.
What about, now I'm a little addicted to Audible.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I can do, I can multitask if I'm cleaning or if I'm working out, whatever.
Yeah.
Is that could you toggle between imprint and Audible with Amazon?
You can create an audiobook. Your book can be paperback, Kindle, audiobook, hardback. Yeah, you can have multiple formats of the same book.
Okay, great. Yeah, that's fantastic. Because I just think there's so many people that go on Audible and then they share.
Mm-hmm.
And I did hear this one woman that I was going to reach out to and do a little something with. She said, "Oh, and if you want this, here you can go there and purchase it," because she knew obviously it was geared for the Audible crowd. So you can go here and get this. It actually was a form, right? It was a template, and it was in food of all things. And so I listened to that rather than look at it. Yep. There you go. So okay,
you can do that. You could also have a podcast. You could also run your own stuff on the audio. You can have your own podcast show. You can have your own YouTube channel. There's so many things you can do. Your own Facebook group. the combinations are endless. But it's always down to who is the buying audience and where are they? Okay, fish with a river with fish in it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
First of all, I need to know where are the fish, and also what bait do those fish like? Do they like blue bottles? Do they like wasps? What do they like? So I'm going to put the right bait on the right hook in the right river, and I don't need to guess anymore. I can go to Amazon, let Amazon tell me. Like, as of today, here's the age range of people who are buying books in this topic, and here's what they liked, and here's what they didn't like, and here's what they want more of. You might want to write a book about this. Oh, by the way, here's what to call it. Here's what you should have in each chapter. Here's how much to charge. It does all that for you. So then it's just a matter of filling in the blanks. And you can either do that manually if you want, or you can get AI to ghostwrite it for you, and then you go over it and make it your own. But in terms of breaking the back of that project, you can have a 9-chapter book done. I say I did 4 in one afternoon. So, it's never been easier. We have a TV studio in our pocket. We've got AI as our marketing department. And with the funnel building tools that we've got now, we can set up websites. And I mean, we set that website funnel up for that client yesterday. I think total time was 2.5 hours with a buy now button on it, an appointment button on it, and their own branding. We wrote all the marketing copy, a 4 follow-up email sequence, all automated, all built in, all the social media posts written, all the launch emails written. And she's handed that to her marketing department last night, and it will go live on Monday.
wow.
A conversation we had yesterday. So that's what, Thursday to live on Monday.
The turnaround time is incredible.
Yeah.
Like, that's incredible.
Can't guarantee it'll always be that fast, but we're saying 90 days to do the whole thing, and that's a conservative estimate. We can probably do it quicker, but I want to give us wiggle room, and I also need to find the pace with clients. I need to work out how much time do we need, how much back and forth is there going to be. Proofreading and editing a book is quite time consuming, so I'm giving
it's the
myself
feedback from them too, I'm imagining, if they're
absolutely
responsive, yeah.
So that's why we're saying 90 days. But by end of Q1 2024, if you had a book, an online course, a year's worth of events, a coaching program, and a consulting program all live, would that make your life easier? I think it might.
I think it might too. Now, that's the other thing, because I mentioned speaking in this meeting yesterday. So could it tell you who would be looking for someone like yourself? Do you have to really go to this whole speakers guild or whatever they are?
No.
Because then they charge you for that.
No, you don't. You don't have to do that. You can do. We're very much about attracting your own audience, so you're not having to hire a speakers bureau or an agency or anyone to promote you. You can still do that if you want to. That the more fishing lines you've got out there in the rivers, the better. But this is attraction marketing. This is about you being visible and you being desirable and you being credible, so that people see you, they find you, they see you. You're all over the place. You're on Facebook, you're on Twitter, you're on LinkedIn, you're on TikTok, you're everywhere, and you've got this killer offer that is ideally suited to them, which solves a problem they have right now, and it's free. They grab your lead magnet, they're now in your database. The email system follows them up automatically for you and will subsequently sell them your book. And in the book, there's an offer for your online course. If they join your online course, they'll be offered coaching. When they're one of your coaching clients, you'll invite them to your events. And then once a quarter, you'll invite them to your 3-day retreat. Right? So there's an entire sales funnel here. All your social media posts run for you. The whole machine just ticks over. And if you stay with us and continue that's why there's a monthly subscription. If you don't do the monthly subscription, the things don't disappear. We don't make all the websites switch off. That's not fair at all. Everything will still stay there. But if you're actually actively subscribing with us, we will continue to promote you and we'll continue to scale your business 9 different ways. So we'll take those 9 different modules of your program and roll out 9 different funnels with 9 different books, 9 different e-courses, online courses, 9 different types of events. So you're in multiple streams of income, potentially 45 streams of income.
Okay, well, that's amazing. When you do the website, though, are you hosting that?
Yeah.
Or would we take that? Okay, that's.
We host them as well. We buy the domain names, we pay the hosting, we do all that stuff, we do all the maintenance.
That's great, because I'm having some issue with who's hosting my website right now. So that's fantastic.
Yeah, I remember you told me that. Yeah, that's common. That's very common. You often get held hostage by web people.
Yeah. Wow, this has been great.
Good. I'm glad you like it. I'm very excited by it. I'm very proud of it. It's already creating a lot of attention. I don't see anyone else doing anything like this. And even if they are, I don't care. We're doing it our way, and we do it in a way that works. We know we can create best-selling authors. We know that we can create successful coaches and therapists. We've got lots of our clients who've gone on to become quite successful at what they do. So that's not the issue. The issue is how good your idea is. And it's a kind of Venn diagram. You come with the idea, which is one bubble, and we come with the Amazon sales data, which is the other bubble. And we go, right, the sweet spot in the middle. What does the market want that you offer? That's the sweet spot. If we can find that bit, then we're off. You know, what are you good at? What do you know? What problems can you solve? Okay, who's got those problems? Where are they? Let's find them, and let's marry the two together. And from that, you grow an entire business. And you don't need a lot of people to be living a nice lifestyle. You know, you don't need a lot of clients. So
that's so true about what you bring yourself. Because one of the things I used to do, they asked me to sit in on these different classes that similar, not quite what I do, but similar. And this was in the past. And I would have to stay so many classes and go on a journey and then give my report. And I would meet with a group of doctors. And it really was about, the presenter was everything. Because everything else was laid out. But it really was making it their own. And there's such a power in that.
It's your topic. It's your area of interest. It'll be your signature program. It's your name that's on the book. It's your book. It's your online course. It's your events. It's your website. You are the essence and the core of it. All we're doing is productizing it. So all we're doing is taking you and turning you into a consumable product and service that people will like, that is different and unique and stands out from everybody else. So if you say you're a coach or a therapist or a consultant, you're now one of a commodity. You don't ever want to say I'm a. You want to say I help this particular kind of person who has this particular kind of problem to achieve this particular goal, and I can do it in this time scale. And here's my free thing to give you a taste of it so you can try before you buy. And that's your offer. And that's, if you say that to the right person enough, or the right people, enough of the right people, a number of them are going to go, I'm in. And at that point, it's just a numbers game. And most people, if they had 10, 20 clients in their diary, they'd be fully booked and they'd be perfectly happy. So you don't need 60 million people. You need 10 to 20. And can we find them on the entire planet? Yes, we can. Because where are they? They're on the internet and they're searching for a solution. And we're going to be the go-to person with the solution for that particular problem, with a unique proprietary signature program that they haven't seen anywhere else. And they can buy the book, or they can come and get the online course, or they can come to a live event and meet you, or they can hire you as a coach, depending on the price point. So we're covering all the price points. We have thought this through. We have been doing this for a while. This is what works. And this is what works right now. The thing we're doing is we're going to build it for you. You just bring the idea on a napkin. Let us do the rest. And I'm looking forward to seeing what happens. So keep in touch, Anita. Keep me posted on developments, and I'd love to have you on board.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it. Absolutely.
Good stuff.
Thank you so much.
Have a good one. See you ladies later on. Take it easy. Have a nice weekend.
You too.